Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm Stephen Rathburn. In this real short video, we're going to cover how to put a little more expression and character in your drawings. I'm going to cover a few simple steps we can do to make our drawings more fun and exciting. Taking screenshots is a fun way of finding interesting characters to draw. I found this one in an old Western movie. I'll leave a link below of all the materials I use when I'm sketching. You want a nice thick pencil with a thick pencil lead so you can press really hard. And I like to use Bristol board paper for its durability. The first thing we want to do is make each line mean something when we put it on the paper. I do this by making little reference points on the paper and then checking them out before I draw the line. I may check an angle with my pencil. We can do this either when we're drawing from a photograph or even a live model. After you've got 3 or 4 reference points, then start to connect them with expressive lines. The faster and the looser we make those lines, the more expressive they are. Start at your reference points, press hard, and make a quick line. This way the line will be expressive. Notice it'll be a little thicker where you start and thinner where you finish. Notice the line on the brim of his hat. Fast, loose, and expressive. Once you make an area look halfway identifiable, then move on to another area and find some more reference points. And again, check those points before you make a line. Check angles. Look for negative spaces. Notice you'll see little dots here and there, but no lines yet. Then start to develop those spots, but not entirely. Keep checking to make sure that they're in the right area. And again, once you've made that area identifiable, then move on to another. We don't want to spend too much time in one area because it could be wrong, which ends up being way too much erasing. Too much erasing smudges up your drawing or ends up tearing your paper or fraying it. Notice how much I'm moving around here, but you'll also notice how much each little reference point grows. I've noticed here that I've got the low part of his hat in a little bit of a wrong place. Easy to move. Now we can start to develop it a little bit more. In some of the finer areas, I might switch to a never sharp pencil, but not very often. It sometimes helps with small drawings like this. There's no need to study the anatomy of an eye just to learn how to draw it. It's better to pay attention to the lights and the darks, where the shadows are, where the highlights are. Shadows will always be on the lower side of a round object, like under the lower eyelid, and under the nose, and under the mouth, the lower lip. The upper lip is always darker than the lower lip. Now we can start to do some more shading, but we want to make sure that even the dark areas of our shading still wants to look like expressive lines. No blending in this type of sketch. Still, keep moving around. Don't spend too much time on one spot. Noticed I only developed part of his beard and then moved up into the hat area. Moving around like this helps to identify areas that might need to be changed. In that case, we wouldn't want to have it too far developed. Notice that I have changed back to a pencil where I can develop harder and thicker and darker lines. Now we can switch back to a sharper pencil just for a little more detail. Mostly just a few darker shadows, a few small lines around the beard, and I'm back to a thicker pencil. And the clothing is a really good place to really practice some expressive lines. You can really go crazy, press hard, and enjoy it. Notice here too that his hand is really just a few reference points at this point. You might want to watch my video on drawing hands the easy way. Sometimes artists stress out too much over hands. I really like the expressiveness in his hands in this particular picture. Kind of in an unusual position, a little more challenging, but the gloves make it a little easier. Don't avoid hands in your sketches. It will always make a sketch more interesting. I'd like to mention here the importance of not closing the outline of your character, meaning that the outlines are not connected. There are a lot of open spaces, like the top of his hat, for instance. Very suggestive. This is really important. I think this lower hand is my most important and interesting part of the drawing. It's an effective lead-in anyway. Again, not too much detail, just a little bit of shading. This is getting to the beat of the time when you gotta know when to quit. Notice his left arm, totally unfinished. And his right arm, no definitive outline. These open spaces are referred to in art as lost and found edges. These let the viewer's eye do some of the work. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed drawing it. Please push the like button, and also please subscribe, and push that notification bell. That way you'll know when I have another video. Anyway, I'm Stephen Rathburn. I'll catch you on the next one.